Hello, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year, and I wish you all the very best for 2025. It's been a minute since I've done a video on YouTube. To be honest, I haven't been buying an awful lot of basketball shoes. I've been having a clear out more than anything. And I've noticed that my All Pro Nitro collection was looking very slim. So I came across a bunch of All Pro Nitros and the prices were fantastic, so I snapped up a couple. To give credit where it's due, this shoe right here, the Puma Clyde All Pro, was where it started for me. This shoe, I rave about it. I've got pretty much every colourway of this shoe, and I'm just a big fan of how it feels, how it performs, and I find it extremely comfortable and fantastic value for money. So the next shoe in this line was the All Pro Nitro. I had a bunch of colourways, and to be honest, I wasn't 100% on the ones I actually had. So I kind of held on to some, sold some, and I've been keeping an eye out for colourways coming out. And this one, amongst others that I've got here, this one was for me the pick of the bunch and the reason for doing this video. The All Pro Nitros originally came with a black box, and it was like kind of pebble from the basketball texture on top, and it was pretty meh. I don't understand why they just gave you a shitty box, because the All Pro was supposed to be the top line shoe, but if they're now going to start advertising it and presenting it rather in these boxes, all the better, because they're a lot better quality and the presentation overall just looks a lot better. So anyway, this is the All Pro Nitro Mexico. On the back here we have what I think is supposed to be a Mesoamerican character or player just holding the basketball, and that gives away the kind of theme that's kind of going on with this shoe. When you open the box up, you are presented with the shoe itself. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most well-designed Puma shoes that have been released. Why they limited the release to specific regions is beyond me, because I feel that would have been a top performer. However, for some reason, maybe because it's green and it's probably people are not a big fan of it, then there's probably still a reason why there's still some left online. You can pick them up at a reasonable price, but for me, what you're getting in this shoe, we all know what the All Pro Nitro is like performance-wise, but the detailing and the feel of kind of some sort of luxury within the shoe for the price, it's nearly unmatched in my opinion. This synthetic overlay material is it's like meant to be like suede, but it feels very buttery. It's very nice. You've got the gold Puma swoosh. Swoosh, fucking hell, Chris, Jesus fucking hell. The Puma logo going across there on the lateral side is very nice, as well as the medial. But the Mesoamerican character on the heel tab is money. And on the tongue itself, we have this circular emblem, and I'm not entirely sure what it is, but looking at it, looks like some sort of snake. And I mean, against that green background, it is really, really nice. 1973 on the tongue, with the put your laces through to help your tongue out, keep your tongue in place. And then we got that good old sticky Puma rubber outsole. Nothing changed in the midsole tooling, just aesthetically how it looks. This shoe to me is very, very nice visually, and nobody on YouTube had done a video on this shoe. I'll get some close-ups for you to have a look at, but man, like that is a really, really nice colour of green. Now, the thing that I find interesting about this box is when you actually take the second shoe out, the same emblem that's on the tongue is there on the inside. Now, why on earth would they put something as nice as that on the bottom? I'm not saying this is a bad thing. From a design point of view, it's actually quite interesting that when you actually put the shoes in and take one out, you're presented with the logo. And to me, from a design point of view, it's a really nice touch. That's the kind of things that we're looking for when it comes to spending money on shoes. We want something that's a little bit different, a little bit edgy, and I think it's been very well presented. So anyway, that was the All Pro Nitro Mexico. This shoe here was a steal from a few, the German retailer, and I did not pay very much for these, and this colorway was still a lot higher on Puma's website in the UK and the EU, so I just kind of done a wee bit of shopping and picked these up. The colorway of this, quite subtle, it's kind of like a minty olive green apparently, and I think it's really clean looking, and I'm quite happy with it. Again, go into a few and you should be able to pick up a pair. Next up, we have the Dennis Schröder PE. I'll get some close-up pictures of these for you, but again, the box has got a nice kind of glossy finish with some of the text that hard work pays off. We've got the Dennis Schröder logo and the Puma logo on the top, big bold Puma gold logo on the back, and then we've got all the details like we usually do with the sticker. Inside really nice, the tissue paper. I think the thing that appeals about this shoe more than anything is that in the regular Puma All Pro Nitros, it was just that standard black box with the glossy basketball texture printed on the top. It looked like shit. It's just nothing fancy whatsoever. The All Pro was supposed to be the creme de la creme of the Puma line until the Elite came out, which I'll get to shortly. But the All Pro, it just felt very lackluster in terms of the box. But anyway, the Dennis Schröder one, very nice paper in here, and the shoe itself is really different. They did bring out the Chinese New Year one. In the previous Puma Clyde hardwood, they had a gold one that had bronze, silver and gold on there. But this one, it kind of really taken it to the next level. So on the tongue, you've got the Dennis Schröder 17 logo, which I now believe is actually 71 now he's at the Warriors. Hard work pays off. And then this little gold tag. But I mean, this gold is quite luxurious looking, you know, it's got that kind of little gentle sparkle, nothing too in your face like I say about the LaMelo Ball shoes. But yeah, nice detailing on this shoe. I'll try to get a close up here for you. Look at that gold fleck in the outsole. That's cool, man. Just things that are different. I think these recent releases that they've made of the All Pro Nitro, you can just see they've went that wee bit extra further with the detailing. But anyway, this one here, with the black against the gold, Dennis Schröder himself has said that gold was his favourite colour, so this is why he opted for this shoe, and I can see why. It's got a bit of a luxurious feel to be perfectly honest. So a nice addition to the rotation, but most importantly to the All Pro line. The Chinese New Year one, nah, I wasn't feeling it, but with the black and gold, nice touch. This one here is the All Pro Nitro version of the Elite, and the colorway I believe is just violet. Yeah, Team Violet apparently. Fucking hell, man, nice imagination skills there. Do you know what I mean? Like, the box itself is so much better. Got the All Pro Nitro branding on the top in the pink. Now they've added this card in, which is a really nice touch. Save you googling it, it tells you exactly what is in the box. Why we're getting this in a shoe that's been out for the best part of a year at least, then to now put this inside the box where they probably should have put that in from the start. You know, I don't understand what the thought process is, but anyway. So inside we've got the paper, and then this shoe here is visually very nice. Nice subtle colour of the pink peachy colour on the back of the heel, but the kind of like deep purple plum colours and this kind of pearlescent synthetic overlay that catches the light really nice. I think that is a banging colourway. This is probably one of the nicest colourways that have come out on the All Pro Nitro line. Again, very comfortable shoe, nothing really changed, and you can just, even the rubber, it's kind of tricky. If I remember correctly, one of the older Nitro, All Pro Nitros that came out, the rubber didn't feel as tacky as that to touch. but man, like it's just squeaking as soon as you touch it with your hand. So yeah, I'm presuming this is going to be a decent performer. So just a little add-on here, while I was doing the footage for the try-ons on the shoe, I don't know if you can see this, but the tongue itself has like a honeycomb chain link kind of material over the top of it, and it's like really sticky. So when I was trying the shoe on, the laces and the side panels all stayed in place. It didn't feel like there was any slippage or anything, and I don't know if this is intentional, but when you look at it, I hope you can see that next to the Puma logo itself, it's almost just like a crisscross, kind of like a fence, like a metal fence. It's just like a rubber material over the top, because when I look at the green ones, you can see it ever so slightly, but it's not, it doesn't feel the same. It just feels like the fabric, whereas these ones feel like they've got the overlay on top of the fabric. So I hope I'm going to be able to zoom in enough for you here. Yeah, that's super nice. So next thing I talk about is the Puma All Pro Nitro 2. There has been images of this leaked. It was somewhere that Puma were doing some sort of presentation or something, and they had these big billboard images up. I'll get images for you. And the shoe itself looks pretty decent. It looks very much similar in terms of the tooling aspect. Looks like it's got some sort of engineered mesh on the top, but there's like a lateral kind of plate that rides up the side, and for whatever reason that reminds me of the Jordan Tatum 1s, and it's not a bad thing as long as for me specifically, as long as the nitro foam is still the same. It's probably just there to kind of help kind of cage it up a wee bit, which can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing as well, because they've done the Pro Foam with the Clyde hardwood, they caged it all in and it just felt dead. There was just no movement at all whatsoever on that midsole setup. So it'd be interesting to see what actually happens with the All Pro Nitro 2. I think the way the Clyde All Pro performed really set the benchmark for Puma because it was so good. They fixed the errors with the All Pro Nitro, and it's still a great shoe, not taking anything away from it, but I'm just hoping that there's some sort of improvement on the All Pro Nitro. The All Pro Nitro itself is visually a nice shoe, but I can't help but feel that this is what tends to happen. Well, it's what's happened at Nike, let's face it. They've taken something and then they've just kind of tweaked things rather than actually designing a whole new shoe. I mean, obviously you can see there's some sort of similarities with the design language in these two shoes, and they've kind of had this maybe some sort of targets and ethos that they wanted to stick to when designing the All Pro Nitro from the Clyde All Pro. But with the All Pro Nitro 2, so far from these limited images that we've got, it does look similar in regards to the kind of midsole tooling, but they've kind of just changed the top, you know, because we went from Pro Foam Plus to the Nitro Squared Foam, which is obviously two different foams, but now we're just basically using the same foam in this, but then just changing the upper. I don't know, like, I mean, obviously if it's not broke, don't fix it, great, but I just hope that there's some kind of improvement. Now that they've introduced the All Pro Nitro Elite, that's getting me thinking, is that going to be another line on top of the All Pro Nitro? Is that going to be just a one-off? You know, it's kind of interesting to see what Puma are going to do, but the All Pro line is overall a fantastic line for basketball shoes. I think if you're in the market for a basketball shoe, you don't want to spend too much money. I did pick up the, forgive me, I think it's the Sunset Glow pair, and then the black with the red outsole. I've got them delivered to a family member back home, and they were on the UK site, and I got the two of them for £70. Two pairs for £70. I mean, you're struggling sometimes to buy a decent basketball shoe for £70 on its own, but getting 2 pairs of this shoe, you know, it's a pretty good deal. And I think, like I said before, if you're getting a basketball shoe with this much bang for your buck, it's kind of difficult to commit to your Nikes and your Adidas and pay stupid amounts of money. I actually got a pair of the Harden Volume 7s for ridiculously cheap online, and then I tried them on and I found them to be so uncomfortable, but that was getting labelled as being one of the best basketball shoes. So it just goes to show that everyone has an opinion, everybody has a preference, and if you find something that you really enjoy playing in, or you just find comfortable for whatever reason, there is absolutely nothing wrong with sticking with that shoe. On that note, if you've not subscribed already, please subscribe, and if you like this video, that would be a big help with the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate everyone who stayed subscribed throughout this time of not having any videos uploaded, and I wanted to give this shoe its flowers because I believe it's a fantastic basketball shoe and there's some great colourways out there. So once again, thank you so much. Until next time.